It's a new year, but it's the same old me. Hey everyone, welcome to the Trendcrusher podcast. I'm Peter K. Like I said, it's a new year, but the same old shit. This episode was supposed to go a few weeks ago. Shit's been up. It's work, life, everything in the middle. You know what? I was planning on doing a top 10 of 2024 and also the releases that I forgot about or didn't get a chance to listen to. Maybe I'll get time to that in another week or so. This episode, as you know and have clicked on it, is all about Abzy from Kuwait. Really cool artist. I heard his album Hollow Bloom and I thought it would be great to speak to him about not just Hollow Bloom but also the scene in Kuwait and the Middle East. Here it is. And I'd like to welcome to the podcast Abzy. How's it going, man?
What's up? All good. What about you, man?
Good, good. I'm really excited to speak to you because while I was doing my research, and I don't know, these are one of those things that you kind of figure out later on, is I realized I actually first know about you through my good friend Adnan, aka Unmuted, and you were featured on his song Purpose. So it's kind of cool now, a few years later, to kind of connect with you. But the reason we're connecting is because last month, which was December, you released an album titled Hollow Bloom. So let's just like slowly kind of unpack all of it, right? How long was Hollow Bloom in the works, right? And did you actually think you were making at the album when you first started out?
Oh, well, first of all, I'm very happy to be here. And yeah, it is funny you mentioned that while doing the research, connecting things together, and you saying the world is very small nowadays. Everybody knows each other's through the internet and connect through music, which is amazing. Yeah. Um, so yeah, I'm excited. And about the album, the process actually was kind of I would say tricky and weird somehow because I had a band that I made in 2022, I think, around that. And like my dedication and my passion was all dedicated to this band. The band is called Sarai. And Sarai didn't make it anymore or it's no longer active because of uh, uh, due to the band members who have difficulty to work on music while doing their own priorities and life, so it was very understandable, and we all decided to disband, and that I'll keep focusing on my solo project, which is the album has to do with it right now. So most of the songs on the album were supposed to be for Srai that I already wrote last year. And um, while releasing singles for my solo project this year, starting from April, I think, um, I was aiming for a different vibe or different genre than what I had going on with Sarai, because Sarai was more of an alternative metalcore kind of a band, yeah. But for me, when I was doing the solo, I wanted to go for the shoegaze, the chill, the new metal era, the 2000s, early 2000s, Deftones kind of a vibe, even though I'm not a Deftones vibe, but I love the shoegaze vibe and sound. But yeah, that was my plan. And after releasing Time Flies, which is on April, here I wrote a couple of songs for that genre or that vibe that I wanted to go for. I recorded a couple, and then I'm like, maybe I should do an EP that has the same vibe, which is I actually wrote 6 songs for that EP. Released I'm Changing. And after that, I was gonna release the rest of them, and then I decided not to go with that genre or that vibe. And that led me to do Red Flags, and Red Flags was more of the metalcore alternative, same vibe that Sly had. And it's funny that I find myself trying to do this, and I go all the way around and doing other things and other plans. So yeah, uh, for me, like when I write music, I love to connect with my audience or people who are following me or interested in my music. So I keep them updated on what I'm doing, all of that. So I posted on my story like the songs that I made for Sry. I'm like, guys, I have all of these songs. Should I release them singles? If like that amount of songs, if I release them every 2 months, one single, I'm gonna have a lot of releases, a lot of singles to be released from like 2024 all the way to 20 26, all the way. They're too much. So the friends or the followers were like, no, just release an album. I'm like, an album? That's a lot of work, it's not easy to promote an album. It's not easy to um, because I mixed and mastered the album myself, and it wasn't easy. It was very hard, to keep the sound uh, constant and like doesn't sound off and stuff. So yeah, that's how the whole idea came together, and I went for it. I just did what the people asked me to do.
Wow, you've left me actually with so many questions after what you said. First, in
Uh-huh.
what's the status on Sarai? Because I was very curious. Because actually,
Yeah,
when I was also doing my research, I realized John, who's connected us from Asher
yeah.
Public Relations, right? He had actually sent me the Sarai single a year ago. And what was
Great.
interesting for me was, hey, there's, metal in Kuwait. And for some background, I used to live in Abu Dhabi and Dubai for a while. So you always hear of a few bands from Kuwait, and we'll talk about it later, right? But
Mhm.
after many years, I heard another new artist, so I was very curious to know what was happening. But since you
Yeah.
talked about, just uh, the entire evolution of the sound, so to say, right? I thought before we kind of maybe get deeper into the album, let's take a few steps back, right? Uh, Again, this has come up in research through a past interview. You actually never started out as a metal musician, but you were
Right.
actually a rapper to begin with. Uh, how, first of all, just to understand, how did you kind of evolve into a metal musician? And if I can kind of further poke in, what about metal music kind of appealed to you and made you decide kind of create such music also?
Right. This is a fun question, and I really like it. So yeah, I started as an uh, Arab and R&B artist. I liked to sing. I enjoyed rapping. I wasn't good at all at rapping. I wasn't good enough at rapping. But as um, the more I sang and I did R&B, people were telling me I sounded good, and I wasn't sure about that because I wasn't sure about what am I doing. Like, are they like serious? Are they really? Do they really mean it, or they're just friends being nice to me? But yeah, I kept doing it over and over and over, and then growing up as a teenager, I had a very tough childhood because I came from a broken family, divorced parents. I didn't have the love or the attention that I needed when I was a kid. So I was mad. Why I'm not like every other kid? I just need someone to be there for me, and I never had that. Um, so yeah, I felt like I was mad. I was mad at the world. I'm like I had too much energy, and I just want to scream. I just want to shout, and I just want to, like I needed that energy, and I found all of that in heavy music and the metal music and all of that music. When I first heard it, I was like, "Whoa!" Actually, funny fact: first time I've heard rock and metal through video games, and this is when I was like, "Oh my God, I love that! I love this music. I wanna." I remember I was like 14, 15. I was thinking I wanna grow up and I wanna make a band and I want to sing, I want to scream, and I want to do all of that. And now I'm having flashbacks. I can't believe I've done all of that in Kuwait, because it's crazy. Like, when we see movies that teenagers making a rock band and like in America and stuff like it's easy for them. But I am in Kuwait and I made that. My first band was made in 2006, Black 13 Angels. It was a metalcore band. And that band went from 2016 all the way to 2012, you know. We did shows in Kuwait. We made a couple of albums. We did it. And it was shocking. It was surprising. Even our first time on stage as Black 13 Angels, we played Battle of the Bands in Kuwait. And we won the first place. It was crazy, you know. So having all that stuff happening, it what kept me going. It what kept me be more passionate and growing up with all of that. At this point, it feels like this is my purpose in this life, you know, to make music.
Wow, thanks so much for sharing that. I mean, because I feel, you know, this is again going back to what we started our conversation with.
Yeah,
Despite all of us being in different parts of the world, I think, what everyone, and I'm going to kind of be a little ageist when I say this, everyone who's 30 plus kind of has this very common root in metal, you know, turn of the 2000s, everyone was getting into new metal, metalcore. Uh,
yeah,
I don't know if you remember, there was new wave of American hardcore or American
oh
heavy
yeah,
metal, all of that stuff.
mhm,
And there was a certain sense of angst that everyone kind of felt, which you kind of related to, right? So
yep,
thanks for sharing that. But what
of
you
course,
also said uh, kind of ties up, because I heard you say in an interview that you identify yourself as a vocalist. And
I am.
one thing that really stands out, I must say, in the album is the vocals, right? Where in Hollow Bloom, and again, you've not done the very typical thing, I must say, in production, because typically you have like the vocals, and that's below everything else comes the instruments, right? But here you've kind of nicely kind of melded it all together, so it doesn't seem like one on top of the other. uh, which kind of brings me to my point. I mean, also, I must add on the production, since I've got it in my notes, is how you've kind of very seamlessly made that transition between clean and harsh vocals, right? It doesn't seem very forced. It brings to mind like one of my favorite bands, Killswitch Engage, right?
Oh hell yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
and to me, when I was listening to the album, they came to mind because it's how seamless you had Jesse Leach do both clean and harsh vocals. Uh, but I'm guessing that may have been a production reference. Were you like when you were sitting and kind of working on it away from writing? How did you kind of like, what were your references that you used? Was there any bands, any albums that you had in mind?
yeah. Definitely, I've had a lot of um, inspiration to be honest, writing the album. And it's funny how like each song had a different inspiration from different band. For example, the last song, you know, like this is so funny because like the last song is soft. It's an acoustic song, yeah. Broken World. Broken World was inspired by Snuff by Slipknot. Believe it or not. Yeah, it 100%. And I added my touch to it. What else? Um, Gone, also a soft song, but at the end it had this huge build up and breakdown, and it was boom in your face. The breakdown was inspired by a band called Sleep Token. Um, Haven is that a love cheesy song, you know. The guitar riffs, it was inspired by Three Days Grace, for example. Um, um, and what else? What else? Who can I remember? Uh, yeah, and some of the songs actually, I can't call all of the bands. Yeah, you know, I have too much info in my head. But you know what's funny? Like the process of writing the album. I'm very grateful and thankful for that one plugin that I used in the software for recording. It's called Arcade. Yeah, I highly recommend this Arcade plugin because it helps you out with ideas. For example, you take this sample and you put it here, and then you build a whole song on that sample. Because sometimes we have writing block. Yeah, like I want to write a song. Where should I start? How? You just grab that sample, put it there, and build on it, and you'll end up making a full song. Like some of the songs were made in one day, live on TikTok or live on Twitch with the audience watching, and we're sharing ideas and thoughts and lyrics and all of that. So that's what I meant earlier when I said I like to connect with my audience. That's something that I do. Um, but yeah, all of that stuff are inspiring, and they are a good inspiration to build up a good a good sound, and it ended up to from track 1 to track 10, each song sounds differently, and I love it. I was so happy that I could have made all that genres in one album, that this is what I wanted to do, because I don't want people to get bored from the sound repeating itself from 1 to 10.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's very strange to explain it, right? But there are certain
Mm.
albums you want to listen start to finish. Here, even if I listen to any of the tracks in any order, it didn't matter. So
Yeah.
that's why I was also curious why you kind of put them together, right? At this point, I think let's play a track from the album, Hollow Bloom, for those who haven't heard it. Which song would you recommend everyone listens to, and why?
Uh, hmm, that's really hard. Because it's very hard, because 10 songs and each song has a different taste to someone. I'm pretty sure about that. But which one would I choose? Like, I think Mistakes. Mistakes, it's what started the whole project. So definitely Mistakes.
All right, that's Mistakes by Abzy of his album Hollow Bloom, and I've got the man himself here. Now, one of the things I was also very curious to kind of discuss with you is you've got quite a few guest features on the album, right? And this is
Yeah.
again not to take away from you, because, like I said earlier, right, the vocals are the highlight, but also the instrumentation. But everyone who's kind of joined uh, on the album is adding their own kind of flavor. You've got just a name on the top of my head from what I could see. You've got Taifi, you've got Dusk, you've got Deadleaf, who I was also very curious about. So I want to know because I couldn't find any information about him online also. But when you were kind of working on these songs, right, and you were doing it in public also, at which point did you kind of say, hey, this song needs like this person, or how did you kind of go about identifying the song and the guest? Because that's a very tricky mix to kind of do, right?
Yeah. Um, it's funny because again, as I was saying that while working on the music, I do it live on streaming platforms. Taifi was watching the song Mirror while I was doing it. He's like, "Oh my God, the song sounds really amazing. Send it by. I want to add some lead to it." I'm like, "Hell yeah!" I sent it to him. He sent it back, and he added the most beautiful riffs to it, the solo, and he did the lead guitar at the intro, and he made the song perfect because without that leads in that song, the song would be like I would call it naked, pale, nothing. So his touch was very, very needed and very necessary. Uh, and for Snake actually um, it was an idea that me and a local rapper who is big in the scene and big in the international, I would say, because he's really good. We came with the idea together, and he was gonna be featuring in that song, and then he bailed on the feature for some reason, which is I wrote the whole song musically. I wrote the whole lyrics. Uh, I sent him a reference of the parts, and then he just bailed. He just ditched. He saw the message and he didn't reply, and I was like, okay, it's okay. Life goes on. And I was, just working on the song. Deadleaf was over my place. We were working on his music also, and I was like, I think you should be in this song. He doesn't sing, by the way. Yeah, he recently started releasing music with his vocals on it. Because before that, he used to do instrumental only, and he does like a lot of heavy deathcore, hardcore kind of a stuff, And lately, he decided to sing, and he has a lot of potential, and I'm giving my best, and I'm helping him with anything he needs vocally, to make him sound amazing. And I was like, damn, dude, I think you should be on this song, and he did. While we were recording, I'm like, fuck, why didn't I think about you from the start? Because I didn't know he could do that. I didn't know he could pull it. And yeah, he was the perfect choice for this one. Twisted Mind had the Dusk. What's it called? Dusk. Also, I was live on the streaming platforms, and I was like, guys, we need a solo on this part. Who do you think we should bring? One of the people was like, you should bring Dusk. I'm like, hell yeah! Why didn't I think of? It's always like that. Why didn't I think about this person? And I was like, Dusk, I want this, and I've got the song, and so please give me a solo on it. He's like, yeah. Sent back and sounded amazing. Um, Influencer had Leo. Leo is an upcoming star, hopefully, inshallah. She's very talented. She's amazing. She had her projects and her own bands. Um, so a good friend of mine also, I spoke to her and I was like, Leo, I want you on this. And she was very welcome and excited to do it. And yeah. And for the last song, Broken World, Follow the Hunter was the choice because I needed a solo on that song. I wanted it to be emotional, to be um, like the kind of solo that you listen to it, you'll be like, "Whoa, that's a solo. Yeah, exactly. That should be there, you know. Follow the Hunter is a great friend of mine and also my bandmate with my other band, Wazn. And yeah, he's the main writer in the band with the riffs and stuff. And yeah, he was the right choice. So that's how it all happened, you know, all the features.
Awesome. I'm really glad to hear, like, we're hearing about some new talent
Yeah,
from Kuwait itself. So,
yeah.
one of the interesting things I also found, right, is you've got three videos on YouTube as part of the promotion of the album.
Mhm.
You talked about Twitch already, and I remember you being, I think, active on Adnan's Unmuted
Yeah,
Twitch channel also.
yeah,
Tell me how the entire kind of thing plays out in terms of promotion, right? Because going back to what you said at the start, it's not easy to kind of put together, promote
yeah.
an album. You've got TikTok, you've got Instagram Reels, you've got so much. Uh, how are you kind of navigating that entire promotion of sorts?
Uh, to be honest, I'm doing my best when it comes to that. The algorithm is crazy. Like we still don't know how does it actually work. You know, sometimes you find people telling you that, hey, you should do one, two, three to get on the algorithm, and you do one, two, three, and nothing happens. You know, so I think grinding. You know, like you've like now to be an artist or a singer, you have to be a content creator as well. You know, you gotta create videos. You gotta push on your songs through videos, explain. And like what I had in mind, I wanted to as I don't know if you've seen me doing some of the songs. I did the guitar playthroughs and I did the a vocal live takes. Those are part of the promoting plan. And also, I have got a couple of cringy. You have to do the cringy stuff, you know. Plans for a couple of videos in the future. So I'm gonna be promoting. The album till the end of the month because by the end of the month, like till February, I'm gonna start to release new stuff. I've got like 7 singles for the for 2025, and yeah, I gotta focus on that. You know, we're going for the next step, but yeah, so far so good. Things are going very well. I wasn't expecting. To gain more people from different countries. You know, I noticed that uh, the album is catching the attention of people from Indonesia, from UK, US, as I can see on the Spotify. So yeah, we're trying to push it as much as possible as well.
And I have to kind of go back uh, to your earlier kind of roots, right? So to say, because I think a lot of what you're doing right now also kind of directly relates to what you've done so much in the past. And I have to kind of bring this up because this came up from the interview that you did with Adnan from Unmuted.
Oh
And this
yeah,
also relates to you being a live musician, session musician with other artists, right? So one thing you kind of confirmed to me is that you're part of the Dusk lineup from Saudi Arabia, but you actually were also part of Obsidian back
oh
like in 2013. And like that was a name I heard after so long because I kind of remember the project in Abu Dhabi because I used to live there and I was like, wow, I need to know who these musicians are, right? Um,
yeah.
First of all, tell me about these experiences as a live musician, but how do you kind of maintain that balance between, being a live musician, playing others' music, and then playing your own music? Like, how do you kind of manage that?
Man, it's just like the love of it. I think I've got time. I make time for it. You know, I'm like really passionate about it. This is like again. This is feels like uh, my only purpose in life. To be honest, since I was a kid, it always felt that's the right thing for me. So doing Obsidian, yeah, one of the boys talked to me and was like, "Yo." Uh, we got linked up through mutual friends, a guy who used to live in Kuwait that moved to Dubai, and that's how it happened. Um, uh, it was Muhammad Swan. He was like, I want you to sing on the album. I actually sang on the Obsidian album. And later on, he was like, yeah, we're gonna do a couple of shows. You down? I'm like, hell yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. So that's how it happened. You know, I like to push my boundaries. I like to push myself all the way. You know, uh, like we're gonna play in India with Dusk. You know, like this is me pushing myself. I've never thought one day I'm gonna play in India, which is amazing. Also doing Dusk is so much fun. I love working with Dusk. You know, like. Um, the boys in the band are passionate as well. They're amazing friends, uh, and just sharing the stage with these boys, it's just a fun experience and so much amazing to do it with them. You know?
And another project that you kind of talked about earlier is Wazin. And
Yeah,
it's really cool because, like, when I heard the name, I was like, wait, is this Arabic? Because Wazan is in Hindi Urdu, right? Which is wait. So I didn't
exactly.
realize it's kind of the same. But what can
Yeah,
you
it
tell
is.
us about the band? What's happening
Um,
with them?
Nice. So Wazn is a four-piece band, two based in Kuwait, which is me and Mohammed Elias, and two based in Bahrain, which is Hamid, and the other guy is Follow the Hunter, which is the guy who did Broken World solo. In Wazn, we kind of like get together to enjoy making progressive metal and very interesting combination of sound, you know. Uh, I don't think it's a serious band because we're based in different places, you know, but we like to bring in our energy to put it in a very interesting songs. So yeah, I would say it's a fun project to work with such an amazing, talented people, and yeah, that's pretty much what I can say about Wasn't.
Okay, and it's kind of awesome to kind of hear that, there are artists and bands kind of cross borders now, right? Kuwait and Bahrain.
Yeah.
Um, I kind of was also going back and kind of going nostalgic. Couple of bands I remember from Kuwait back in the day, and I'm pretty sure you're familiar with them. Voice of the Soul.
Oh yeah.
I believe they moved, at least a member or two moved to Dubai. And then also Benevolent. I did an interview with them, I think 10 odd years ago, for my blog. And then I think Hadi and Fadi moved again. Hadi, I think, is now become like this big pop star or something in Dubai. But those are the bands that I could kind of remember. Uh, what are the current bands that you think like all our listeners who are based across the world should hear of from Kuwait?
Yeah, from Kuwait, I think you should pay attention to Deadleaf 100%. He's pushing his boundaries, and you know the guy never thought he could sing one day, and he's doing vocals and doing amazing heavy tracks. And if you aren't if you like Marilyn Manson, he does that kind of Marilyn vibes as well. Also, Toe Band, Toe. Toe Band is doing the shoegaze new metal vibe, which is the original songs sounds very nice and very interesting, cool stuff. Um, Also, Lumina. Lumina, I think Lumina is a prog band with a female vocalist, and they sound amazing. And at, at last, I think, yeah, Reset String as well. If you like Alice in Chains, if you like Nirvana, like that grungy sound, you know. Uh, these bands, I would say, yeah, those bands are definitely the bands are active and actually making music at this point, you know.
Awesome. So lots of new music for everyone to check out. And I'm going to leave the links in the show notes for all of them. Now, it is still the first month of 2025, and everyone's in the discovery mode or rap mode of sorts. So if you could share at least, I hope you at least got time to check out some music from 2024, but or what you're currently listening to. This is actually, to be honest, one of the most fun segments I do with all musicians because you
Nice.
actually get to understand what their listening tastes are like. So, if you could share a few artists that you enjoyed in 2024, maybe something
Uh,
that released or in the past, album or artist, whichever.
there's a band that caught my attention called Holy Water. Uh, um, the song is called White Nail, or something. Yeah, Nail Polish. Yeah, Holy Water, Nail Polish is a very good song. This band is coming up fresh, and they have a very nice sound. I don't listen to a specific genre. I like I like what new bands are bringing fresh and new to the scene. This is what I seek for lately because I want to get inspired by something. So yeah, that's what I'm aiming for. Also, there's another band called Retro. I'm bad with names, man. Retro. Yeah, Retrospective. Yeah, Retrospective is such a cool band. They have that nostalgia and new sound, which is it's very interesting. Yeah, I would point fingers on these two bands, but because the other bands are just very well known and stuff.
Okay, fair enough. Uh,
Yeah.
then I have to ask you, right? I mean, because a lot of people now are also making like lists of, what is going to come out in 2025. I mean,
Yeah.
disclaimer, you're not allowed to talk about any of the bands that you're part of, but what kind of bands are you looking forward to in 2025? Anything we probably know of?
Uh, and to be honest, no, nothing. I can't recall anything, to be honest. I don't know what's the plans for the people with their releases and all that stuff.
Okay, fair enough. Uh,
Yeah.
Now you kind of talked about Dusk performing in India, and y'all are performing at the Bangalore Open Air pre-party. So that's a little over a month from now. So if you're in India planning on coming for Bangalore Open Air, I highly recommend you show up a day earlier. That's happening at Fandom. Uh, I'm forgetting 6th or 7th of Feb, but I'll probably like can't. I'll
Yeah.
probably say this again.
I'm coming a day before actually.
Okay, okay, fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay, cool. So, what other live performances do you have planned? I mean, is there going to be an Abzy band that you're putting together to perform live also?
This is something I might consider actually, for 2025. I do like 100%. I do want to perform as Absi in Riyadh at least, or Saudi in general, close by. Yeah, if I'm doing Absi, I think I'm gonna do a regional shows, but I can't guarantee that or be sure about that yet. I need to plan it, but why not? Yeah.
Okay, and this is actually in my notes, and I wanted to kind of probably get a quick reaction or a response to this, right?
Yeah.
One of the things, and I'll add some context to it, since I grew up in the Middle East, Abu Dhabi and Dubai, right? One of the things when I moved to countries like Canada and later on even Poland, the biggest thing I would always face is people would first look at the color of my skin. Sorry, I'll take that again.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
would look at the color of my skin, and then second look at me and say, Indian people listen to metal. Like they were shocked about it. So if there's something you're willing to share, what do you think has been like the biggest stereotype you faced as, A being Arab, being Kuwaiti, and like interpreted, whether it's
Um,
someone locally or abroad?
Abroad never happened actually, but locally, it's always like when you have those locals who know nothing about rock or metal, you'll get judged by them directly, dude. There's no chance, no escape. Till today, sad, like unfortunately, till today that happens. But like the new generation are very open-minded and very, I would say they're very mature when it comes to that. They're very acceptable. But Yeah, like my generation and the generations before, they're just like people who live in a very small bubble and scared to explore what's outside and around. You know? Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's not easy when you also your parents figure out that you're into metal, right? I mean, parents, immediate family, that's like a complete different
Yeah.
space of its
This
own.
is for me. This is the best part of growing up in a broken family. They didn't give a fuck. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm glad you kind of looked at the upside
Yeah.
of it. Thanks so much, Abzi. I mean, I've really enjoyed this chat with you, and
Same here.
now I'm looking forward to really meeting you in person next month. But
Looking forward. Yeah.
before your final goodbyes, I think it's time you play one more song. Uh, any band that you want to give a shout out to, this is your
Hell yeah.
space.
Hell yeah. Let's go to let's play My Boys Toe Threshold.
Awesome. You heard it from Abzi. Here's the track.
I got you closing. ها لا بس بصمتي تمام. I got you looking with your bloodshot eye. I'm a bit trammed. Can't take you with me tonight. I wanna take you home. I'ma suck your blood. Your gaze is hazy, heavy with desire. I'm drifting closer. Lit my head on fire. Can I see you rain? Just for tonight. Yeah. I'm a wind, yeah. I'm a bend, yeah. I'm a twist, yeah. I'm a break, yeah. I'm a bend, yeah. I'm a break, yeah. I'm a spin, yeah. I'm a den, yeah. I'm a claim, yeah. I'm a toss, yeah. I'm a gas, yeah. I'm a lock, yeah. I got you glancing with your bloodshot eyes. I'm a bit tipsy. Can't take you with me tonight. I wanna take you home. I'm a bad just boy. Yeah. Said what I said. I'm a wind, yeah. I'm a band, yeah. I'm a twist, yeah. I'm a break, yeah. I'm a band, yeah. I'm a play, yeah. I'm a spin, yeah. I'm a ten, yeah. I'm a clan, yeah. I'm a dust, yeah. I'm a gash, yeah. I'm a lock, yeah.
And that was Threshold by Toe, all the way from Kuwait. A pick by Abzi, who was my guest on this episode. As always, if you enjoyed it, leave a rating on Spotify. Follow me on social media or on the podcast platform that you're listening to this episode on. Hopefully in the next 10 days or so, I get both the top 10 and the albums that I missed out in 2024. Stay tuned for that. See you all very soon. Cheers.